Welcome back to Keep the Light On. I'm your host, Tegan Boo. You know, when we're little, we're always taught the golden rule to kind of treat others the way we want to be treated. And you would think that this would be an easy lesson for everyone, but it's truly not. I personally find it harder for me to be rude than it is for me to just be nice. And I honestly think that sometimes I definitely am in a rush or have had a hard day, and I don't want to be overly cheerful and chippy and want to, talk to everybody. Even when I'm in a bad mood, I try hard to at least smile and acknowledge somebody when they walk by me or say good morning or whatever it is. And I truly feel like I have become more aware of how those little instances can be so impactful when I have been on the receiving end of them. Like if I'm out, at a store, or I actually was just at a coffee shop the other day and somebody complimented my shirt. And I was like, thank you so much. I had intentionally thought about what I wanted to wear that day, and it was nice to be recognized for that. When I feel like I'm normally just in, scrubs or workout clothes. So it made me feel really special, even for that brief 2 seconds of receiving that compliment. I also know that when I'm calling some of my patients and needing to ask them just a few generic questions, things that would maybe take me, 2 minutes, and then I'm on the phone for half an hour, that I used to be really annoyed, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was on the phone this long. Now I'm so behind for X, Y, and Z that I need to do for work, or I'm now gonna leave late. I've kind of shifted my mindset a little bit, realizing that sometimes I'm kind of their social interaction for the day. As sad as that may seem, sometimes when you're older or when you have a life-altering diagnosis, doctor's appointments become a huge part of your life. And as someone now who has spent almost 2 years since being diagnosed with cancer and spending an extreme amount of time in hospitals and clinics and lab and this, that, and the other, I have been one of those people who talk the staff's ear off because I haven't gotten to do anything except for go to that doctor's appointment that day or sit in the chemo room for 4 hours and they're who I have to talk to. You bond with some of those people, and I guess I never really understood what bonding to a healthcare professional felt like until I was the patient. And that's really shaped me into being a much better nurse. I have always loved my job, and I've loved my patients, and I love that relationship I build with them. But I think I took a lot of that for granted. And now being a patient who is particular and maybe a smidge needy, I'm appreciative of those staff members that are compassionate towards me, because I have gotten some rude messages back, saying that I ask too many questions, or, that I'm overly particular and all of these things. And although that might be true, it's also my right to ask the questions and to get the answers. And I'm understanding better now that I'm sometimes the healthcare professional that the patient bonds to, because I'm with them from start to finish. And that's a very special relationship. Started chemo back in August of 2022. And I was given a medication called Taxol, and I had anaphylaxis to it. By anaphylaxis, I mean my throat swelled shut, my eyes were swollen shut, my entire face swelled. I remember yelling for help until my throat swelled up, and the last thing I saw was my husband. And I thought to myself, this is where it ends for me. And thankfully, the staff was able to counteract the reaction and get me back. But there was one person there, and I heard her talking to me, telling me I was gonna be okay. I felt her hold my hand. She wheeled me out to the car, and I have bonded with her And every time I'm up there, I like look for her, and she always comes over and gives me a big hug and checks in on me. And that was 2 years ago. Like, I'm sure she had no idea that day that the impression she made on me is one I talk about all of the time, because her compassion and kindness was just unmatched. And that's the kind of healthcare professional I want to be. That's the kind of human I want to be. I want to make sure that when I interact with somebody, that the person leaves feeling like, man, like, I feel so great, and that was such a great hour we spent at coffee or whatever. Like, I try really hard not to have a lot of surface level relationships. Like, I want a deep rooted relationship. I want to talk about all of the things and get down to the nitty gritty, because if there's something I can relate to you on or help you with or pray for you over, I want to do all of those things. And a surface level relationship is just not going to do that for me. And I understand that that is something that can be fulfilling to other people. It's just not how I am. So I recommend, whenever you're out and about and you're having a horrible day and you're stressed and you've been running around, maybe you got caught in the rain or whatever it is, still try to smile, find the light, give your light to somebody else. Like, try to think about, like, what can you do that would help, like, maybe make someone else's day. I know that anytime that I, am at the airport, I try to be overly kind, because I feel like people at the airport or like the DMV, like, everybody's always in a horrible mood. So I try to really elevate myself and like really overdo it, because I'm sure that those people get the brunt of everyone's frustration. And so if I can be that one person that smiled and said good morning and hope you have a great day, I'm sure that's not going to make up for the 50 people who are probably jerks, but I mean, it might help. So remember that people sometimes like look to you to fuel their energy, which I don't know is the healthiest way to do it, but I know that it's something that I personally deal with as well. Like, if my husband or kids are in a bad mood, then I kind of get put in a bad mood, because like their energy I feed off of it. And I think it's vice versa. And that can be kind of a dangerous game. And because like the reality of all of us being like happy-go-lucky all at the same time is very rarely going to happen. And so I find it to be easier that if I can try to be positive or spin the negative situation, then maybe I can bring other people up with me. And my husband does that for me a lot. Whenever I'm kind of like down and dark and spiraling, like, he is the one that's like Mr. Positivity and reminds me of those blessings and those pieces of light. And he's able to kind of pull me out of it. And I'm extremely thankful for that. And I think I have always kind of butted heads with him about this, because I'm like, how on earth can you be so positive all the time? Like, it's sickening. And it makes no sense to me. Like, I don't feel like I'm pessimistic, but I'm just more of a realist. Like, these are the facts and this is what I, feel like it's happening. And I think especially over the last 2 years, like, his ability to be so positive has been why I'm able to like enjoy my life more. And I'm so thankful that I was able to find him and like be with him and build this life, because heaven forbid we were both negative like me sometimes, like, it would not be a very good vibe. And so I'm just very grateful. I also think that like I have just been around so many amazing people at work, like just out in the community, at church, at all of the places where I personally just have been feeling a lot of love the last several years, even before being diagnosed with cancer. And like that feeling of feeling special and loved and supported is one that I think everybody deserves to feel. And it's something that we're able to help give somebody else, and it's free. So just be kind. Like, if you can be anything, just be kind. Because at the end of the day, like, your legacy is built off the type of person that you were, not how much you got done at work or how clean your house was or how much laundry you could get done. Like at the end of the day, it's what type of human are you? And I try really hard to be kind, and I hope that all of you can be that too. It's okay to have those moments of being annoyed and frustrated and feeling all of the things, like feel your feelings, but like don't become the feeling. Don't be consumed by it. Feel it, resonate with it, let it go and move on, and just try to stay in the light. So remember, keep the light on. See you next time.